This little window on the screen is an AI agent, and in the last 4 minutes, it just did the entire job I used to get paid for. It took one line: find me 10 plumbing companies in Denver and write each of them a cold email. And then it went to work on its own. It searched the web. It pulled up 10 real businesses. It read each of their websites, figured out what made each one different, and then it wrote 10 personalized emails. Not 10 copies of the same template. 10 different emails, each one mentioning something specific about that exact company. Then it dropped every lead and every email into a spreadsheet ready to send. That used to be my whole morning, sometimes my whole day. And I want to show you exactly how it's built, step by step, so that by the end of this video you could have the same thing running on your own machine tonight. No computer science degree, no writing code. If you can follow a recipe, you can build this. So let's talk about the job first, because that's the part people skip. For about 2 years, I did lead research for small agencies. The work was simple to describe and miserable to do. Take a type of business, find a list of them, go to each website, find the owner, figure out an angle, and write a cold email that doesn't sound like spam. Do that 50 times a day. It's not hard, it's just death by 1,000 browser tabs. And the cruel part is that it's the kind of work that's too fiddly for a cheap template, but too boring for a smart human to want to do forever. That in-between zone, too fiddly to template, too boring to do by hand, that's exactly where an AI agent earns its keep. So here's what an agent actually is, in plain English, because the word gets thrown around and it's made to sound like magic. A normal automation is a train on a track. It does step 1, then step 2, then step 3 in the same order, every single time. If anything unexpected shows up, it derails. An agent is different. An agent is given a goal and a set of tools, and it decides the steps itself. If a website is down, it tries another. If it can't find an email, it looks somewhere else. It reasons, it adapts, and it keeps going until the goal is done. That's the whole difference. A workflow follows a script. An agent has a mission. Now, here's the mistake almost everyone makes, and it's the reason most people's AI projects fall apart. They try to make the AI do everything. They ask one big prompt to find the leads and research them and write the emails and format the spreadsheet all at once. And it works about half the time, which is worse than useless, because you can't trust it. The actual secret that makes this reliable is that you don't let the AI do the mechanical parts at all. You give the AI a small number of solid tools and you let it decide when to use them. The tool does the doing. The agent does the thinking. Keep those two jobs separate and the whole thing suddenly becomes dependable. Okay, let's build it. I'm going to use a tool called N8N. It's a visual automation builder. You drag boxes onto a canvas and connect them with lines, and each box is one action. There's a free version you can run yourself, and a hosted version if you don't want to touch a server. Everything I'm about to build, you build by clicking, not by typing code. I'll leave a link below to get started, and I'll also drop the exact blueprint for this agent so you can import it in one click instead of rebuilding it from scratch. Step 1 is the trigger, the thing that wakes the agent up. Ours is dead simple, a chat box. I type my instruction in plain English, and that kicks everything off. One box on the canvas, done. Step 2 is the brain. This is the agent node. Inside it sits a large language model. I'm using Claude because in my testing it follows instructions the most carefully and it writes the least robotic emails. This node is where the reasoning happens, but a brain with no hands can't do anything, so we give it hands, we give it tools. We give Tool 1, Web Search. Now the agent can look things up on the live internet instead of guessing from old memory. Tool 2, a website reader, so it can open a company's page and actually read what they say about themselves. Tool 3, a spreadsheet connection, so it can write its results into a real Google Sheet. 3 tools, 3 little boxes wired into the brain. That's the entire agent. It honestly looks too simple to work, and that simplicity is the point. Now the most important part, and the part everyone underestimates, the instructions. This is where you stop being a user and start being a manager. You write the agent a job description, the same way you'd brief a new hire on their first day. Mine says, you are a lead research assistant. When I give you a type of business and a city, find 10 real companies. For each one, visit the website and find one specific, genuine detail. A service they highlight, a recent post, something real. Then write a short, warm, 3-sentence cold email that references that exact detail. Never invent facts. If you can't verify something, leave it out. Log every result to the sheet. Read that again because notice what it is. It's not code. It's just clear thinking written down. That job description is doing 90% of the work. A vague brief gives you vague garbage. A sharp brief gives you a sharp employee. The quality of your agent is the quality of your instructions. That's the single most important sentence in this whole video. So let's run it. I type, find me 10 plumbing companies in Denver. And now watch what it does. Because this is the moment it stops being a workflow and becomes an agent. It searches, it gets a list, it picks the first company, it opens their website, you can see it reading. It notices they advertise 24/7 emergency service. It writes an email that opens by mentioning exactly that. Then it moves to company 2. Completely different business, completely different email. It hit a website that wouldn't load, and instead of crashing, it just shrugged, skipped it, and grabbed the next one. That right there, recovering from a problem on its own, is the thing a plain automation could never do. 4 minutes later, the sheet has 10 rows. 10 real companies, 10 real websites, 10 genuinely personalized emails. I read everyone. They're good. They're the emails I would have written on the morning I no longer have to spend writing them. Now, let's be honest about what this is and isn't, because I'm not going to sell you a fantasy. This does not replace judgment. You still read the emails before they go out. Always. The agent is a tireless junior assistant that does the boring 90%. Not a magician you can walk away from. Sometimes it picks a weak detail and you nudge the instructions. That's not failure. That's you doing the one job that's left, managing. You've gone from doing the work to directing the work. And directing 10 of these is a completely different life than doing one of them by hand. And that's the real unlock. Once this exists, it doesn't do the job once. It does it while you sleep. You can point it at a new city and a new industry and get another 10 leads before your coffee's cold. The effort you spent building it, maybe an hour, you spend exactly once. Everything after that is leverage. So, here's how to take it further. First, swap the industry and the city and watch it work for any niche. That alone is a service you could offer. Second, add a fourth tool that sends the emails for you on a schedule, and now it's not just researching, it's running outreach end to end. Third, and this is the big one, this exact pattern, brain plus a few tools, plus a sharp job description, is not really about cold emails. It's about any repetitive knowledge task, reports, data entry, summaries, research. The shape is always the same. If you want the shortcut, I've packaged the exact blueprint for this agent, the canvas, the tools, and the full job description I used, into a free starter pack. No email required. The link's in the description. Import it, plug in your own keys, and you're running in about 10 minutes instead of an afternoon. Build one of these for the most annoying task in your week. Just one. Because the moment you watch a machine do your job better than the tired version of you did it at 5 p.m., something clicks and you stop asking, can AI do this? And start asking, what else can I hand off? Subscribe if you want to see the next one. I'm building a different agent every week, and go grab that starter pack. Your future mornings will thank you.